She trapped him. We all know it. My mother-in-law typed in the family WhatsApp group. My phone kept buzzing as cousins added. We saw this coming. I stared at the screen, hands shaking. Then my husband replied, Mom, you sure you want to do this here? And he posted one file. My name is Danielle Harper. I'm 34 years old, and I never thought I'd be fighting for my marriage in a group chat. I work as a public school counselor. I've always been the calm one, the fixer, the peacemaker. I grew up middle class, nothing flashy. I paid my own college loans and built my life step by step. When I married into my husband's family, I knew they were wealthier and louder than mine. His mother had strong opinions about everything, especially me. To her, I wasn't ambitious enough, not polished enough, not their type. She adored my husband and treated him like the prized child who could never make a mistake. When we struggled to conceive for 2 years, she hinted it must be my issue. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. Quiet strength and patience. If you've ever been judged by people who never took the time to know you, hit that subscribe button. Have you ever felt like you had to defend your love to someone else's family? Tell me in the comments. Click hype or like if you've ever stayed silent longer than you should have. Let's get into it. The drama started the night we announced I was pregnant. Sunday dinner smelled like roasted chicken and lemon cleaner. I remember that scent clearly because it mixed with the sharp sting in my chest. Instead of smiling, my mother-in-law leaned back and said, Was this planned? The table went quiet except for the clink of forks. I forced a smile and said, Yes, we're really happy. She didn't smile back. A week later, the family WhatsApp group exploded. She wrote, Funny how a baby shows up right when he talks about buying property. One cousin added, Guess some women know how to secure the bag. I felt heat crawl up my neck. They were saying I trapped him for money. My husband was at work when it started. I watched the messages pile up. He was fine before this, she typed. Now he's tied down. I typed a reply. Deleted it. Typed again. Deleted it. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Then my husband finally saw the messages. Mom, stop, he wrote. She answered, Unless you have proof otherwise. Proof, like our love was a court case. That's when he uploaded a PDF into the chat, and everything went silent. Looking back, it wasn't the first time she tried to shrink me. Before this, she'd leave me out of family trips. It's just immediate family, she'd say, even though I was already married in. At birthdays, she'd introduce me as Danielle. She works at a school, like that was something small. At a summer barbecue, she laughed loudly and said, Danielle's very lucky my son doesn't mind being the provider. The sound of kids splashing in the pool couldn't drown out the sting of that sentence. I said calmly, We both provide, just in different ways. She smirked and said, Sure. When my husband mentioned investing in a small rental property, she pulled him aside. I overheard her voice through the kitchen window. Be careful. Babies are expensive. Some women rush these things. Later he told me confused, She thinks we're moving too fast. That's when it clicked. She had been planting doubt for months. Small seeds. Quiet whispers, but I stayed steady. I kept screenshots. I saved messages. I wrote dates in a notebook. They thought I was naive. They didn't know I was watching patterns. What they didn't know was that I keep records. Not because I'm petty, but because I'm careful. Working at a school teaches you that documentation matters. I had screenshots of every passive-aggressive text. I had voice recordings from 2 dinners where she accused me of timing my pregnancy. I had bank statements showing I transferred $38,000 into our joint property fund months before we conceived. I never planned to use any of it. I wanted peace. But I refused to be rewritten as a villain in my own story. The file my husband posted was not random. The night before, after another tense phone call with his mother, I showed him everything. He sat there reading quietly. His face changed. He said, I didn't see it clearly before. We built that file together. Page by page. Calm. Focused. My ally through all of this was Dr. Reynolds, the principal at my school. Her office always smells like old books and strong coffee. One afternoon I broke down in front of her. She listened and then said, Documentation is protection. When I told her about the group chat, she said, if they're bold enough to accuse you publicly, be calm enough to answer publicly. My husband finally saw the pattern when he read through the screenshots. He felt embarrassed. I should have shut this down sooner, he said. Meanwhile, his family kept getting louder. They were convinced I had secured my future with a baby. They acted like the case was closed. They believed they had already won the narrative. They didn't know we were about to correct it. The file he posted was titled Timeline. Inside were screenshots of his mother telling him to protect his assets before she gets pregnant. There were bank transfers showing my contribution to the property fund. There was a short voice memo where she said, a baby would lock him in, wouldn't it? Clear as day. The group chat showed people typing, then stopping. Typing again. No one sent anything for a full minute. My husband wrote, Danielle never trapped me. We planned this baby. She's paid her share of everything. One cousin tried. This feels dramatic, he replied. No, what's dramatic is accusing my wife publicly. His mother finally typed, I was just worried. I took a breath and answered for the first time. Worry doesn't look like character assassination. My tone was steady. Cold. Done. Silence followed. No jokes. No laughing emojis. No side comments. For the first time, the narrative shifted. We muted the group for a month. His mother never gave a real apology, but she stopped. The comments ended. The jabs faded. My husband started setting boundaries I had begged for before. If you can't respect my wife, we won't be around, he told her on the phone. I heard the firmness in his voice. When our baby arrived, our home felt calmer than I expected. I learned something powerful. Silence can be patience, but evidence is protection. I didn't need to scream or beg to be believed. I just needed truth. And once it was out in the open, they couldn't twist it anymore. If someone has ever tried to embarrass you publicly with lies, you know how heavy that feels. Have you ever been attacked in a group chat or online and had to defend yourself? Share your story below. Subscribe if you've had to protect your name. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it. Did this story hit home? Let me know by liking the video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Click hype to help the story find others who felt the same way. Your support makes a huge difference.